And hi, everybody. We welcome you to the final Aztecs Now of the 2009 season. I'm Steve Quist in for Ted Leitner. Ted with the basketball team up in the Central Valley, Fresno State Pacific this week. We're going to talk a little football now with head coach Brady Hoke after a disappointing 38-7 loss to Utah. We'll also get the coach's thoughts on the final game of the regular season against the UNLV Runnin' Rebels coming up. Well, Coach, as we welcome you in here to the set, let's talk a little bit about what happened at Salt Lake City and just your overall impressions of that loss to the Utes.
Well, you know, they're a good football team. We knew that going in. You know, very talented, have a lot of speed on their team. Similar to TCU in a lot of ways. But at the same time, I didn't think the first half we came out and played the way we're capable of playing. I think in the environment a little bit, and they had a good crowd, a loud crowd. But we just had some things going positive, Steve. Our running game, Sullivan had gained 45 yards in the first quarter, and we were blocking the point of attack, and then we'd shoot ourselves in the foot and have a penalty of some sort or intentional grounding call and miss some marks on some of the passing game in the first half. And defensively, we gave some things up big play-wise that, you know, really hurts your morale as a football team. And when you do those things and you're playing a good football team, it's hard to win.
You're talking about the positives there on that opening drive. You're driving the football down, and then all of a sudden you have the interception thrown. How deflating might that have been to your team early on, playing in a hostile environment like Utah and getting down like that quickly?
Well, you always want to, when you play away from home, you wanted some positives to happen early. And, you know, the first drive, we were moving the ball well and you know, doing a lot of good things at the point of attack. And obviously you want to try and put points on the board, you know, to start off. And through the interception, you know, just, you know, a decision that I'm sure Ryan would like again. But those things happen, and now we got to regroup, though.
Talk about Ryan's performance, though. Are you pleased with what you've seen, the growth of this kid? Because he's still very young in his Aztec career.
Well, he is, and I think he's made progress. You know, I think his probably worst half of football was the first half last week. You know, we were 4 of 18 throwing the football in the first half, and I believe 13 of 16 in the second half. So, you know, I think he's made progress, you know, and when people look at it, they got to realize this is a new offense, and this is a new system, and different checks that are involved, and those different things. And so I think he's made strides, and I think he's going to be a great quarterback for us in the future.
It's a first half, obviously. You get down 38-0. Your defense wasn't playing that great. The offense not helping out with the turnover. But the second half, you have to be pleased that you come out and play the final, 30 minutes of that football game without giving up any points to that Utah team.
Well, you know, Stephen, this is such a mental game. I mean, and that's what we talked about kind of at halftime. You know, go out and play the way we're capable of playing. And you know, we flinched a little bit and fainted a little bit, I think, in the first half. But, you know, as we got back out there in the second half, Utah didn't change their scheme. Had the same running plays, had the same defensive scheme that they were doing, same guys in there doing it. We just executed better, and that's a real learning lesson when you look at where we're at as a program, and we've got to keep believing in what we're doing, fundamentals and techniques, and then keep moving forward.
You never want to see a kid, lose any time on the field like a Vincent Brown, but in situations like that, more times than not, guys start to step up, and one of them would be Dominique Sandifer, maybe a guy you thought, okay, he's going to be pretty good. Now you get to see, at least in that Utah game, what you have for the future.
Well, you know, he's been coming on, and I remember through the spring he did some good things, but he's been coming on. I think he really was a guy that could get us in a situation. Utah's a big press man coverage team, and with his quickness, I think he gives us the best opportunity at times to get off that man coverage.
How about UNLV coming up now? An opportunity now to finish your season with 5 wins, which would be 3 more than this program had last year. This has to be a nice opportunity for you guys in the final game of the year.
Well, you know, it's significant. You know, our seniors who have done a great job, Steve, all year, and I talk a lot about our seniors, and we're going to coach and play for them, but they've done a nice job all year long. So for them to end up on a positive note in Las Vegas and go out there and play our best football, and the momentum that we can get as a program when you look at the recruiting part of things, and also also going into our winter program. I think that's a real positive.
Now, what kind of UNLV team will you get in that, their coach has been dismissed? This will be his last game. You either get one of those teams that says, forget it, we don't want to play anymore, we've thrown in the towel, or one that gives you an even better effort than you might get on any other Saturday because they want to play for this coach.
Well, I know one thing. Mike Sanford is one heck of a coach and one heck of a man, and his character. And I know those kids feel deeply about Mike, and they feel deeply about their seniors who are playing their last game. And so I think we'll get UNLV's best because he's a great coach, and he'll move forward in good shape.
Well, what are some of the things that you work on as a team now this week between UNLV, some of the things you might want to accomplish here with this program? Because you got one more shot at this.
Right. Well, I think, as we look at it, defensively, we've got to be a defense that's playing with a little bit more intensity. And when you look at taking on blocks, getting off blocks, and I think our effort to the football has been good, but there's a way to get to the football when you look at pursuit angles and those things that I think we're still learning in the concept of the defense. I think offensively our running game has to continue, and we've made strides at the point of attack. I think Brandon Sullivan is really doing a nice job as a total back for us, but we've got to hit some big plays in there, which means on the perimeter we got to block a little better.
All right, let's take a quick break here on Aztecs Now. When we continue, more from Coach Hoke. He's going to break down the season as a whole. We've already talked about Utah and UNLV coming up, a chance at a 5-win season for this Aztec program. We'll take a break, and when we come back, more with Coach Brady Hoke. Stay with us.